Remember all the reasons why you joined the Republican Party?
It's morning again in America.
A party founded on core principles of individual rights, individual responsibility, less government, and free markets.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The party of a strong America, whose founding president, Abraham Lincoln, went to war to ensure that we would remain one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The party that sent 1,000 paratroopers into Little Rock, Arkansas to force a racist Democrat governor to allow black children to walk through a schoolhouse door. The party that championed a woman's right to vote, elected the first woman to Congress, and appointed the first woman to the Supreme Court. What is happening to our party?
It's not the kind of change we can abide in a nation we still call God's country.
Starting in a few states and building into a national movement, a cancer of intolerance has been growing inside the Republican Party, eating away at its core principles, forcing government into the most personal aspects of our lives, and dividing the country. The same political movement that took up arms against Eisenhower's federal troops in Arkansas has woven its way into the party of Lincoln. They have declared a fundamentalist religious war for the soul of America and would stop at nothing to use the Republican Party as their vessel for political power.
To mobilize the grassroots in our history.
God don't love you.
I can only do it because God loves
God
me.
does not love you. God does not love you. He hates you.
Too many Republican leaders have pandered to them, leaving an impression of an extremist Republican Party out of step with mainstream Americans.
Good evening. The majority leader of the United States Senate says homosexuality is an addiction.
Bob Dole and George Bush, both mainstream Republicans, were defeated at the polls because they pandered to the right wing of the GOP.
Senator, you sent back a contribution from the log cabin Republicans. That doesn't sound very inclusionary.
The American people saw through it. They no longer knew what the GOP really stood for, except that it didn't seem to stand for them. Since 1994, while the far right has been building its strength and increasing its profile, approval ratings for the Republican Party have plummeted. After the 1998 elections, the Republican majority in the House was down to only 6 seats, and lifelong Republicans around the nation began to wonder for the first time in their lives about leaving the party. The 2000 election will be an historic opportunity for the Republican Party to reclaim its mainstream image and retake the White House. Building on the work of log cabin Republicans in electing candidates and delegates to state and national conventions, we are introducing the Liberty Education Fund. In the spirit and integrity that Log Cabin has established with the national media and the American public, the Liberty Education Fund will challenge the intolerant rhetoric of the far right.
What is at the heart of the moral debate here?
At the heart of the moral debate for me is how we treat people who are different.
And work to move mainstream candidates to the center, now, not later.
What about log cabin Republicans? Are you going to be comfortable with them? Are you going to work with them?
I am comfortable whoever wants to join my crusade.
Bush has angered both wings of the GOP. Gay Republicans have criticized his opposition to both the extension of hate crime laws to protect gays.
We asked him about whether or not he would embrace support from the log cabin Republicans.
I oppose discrimination of any kind.
We have a proven record of success, bolstered with the experience of thousands of battle-tested activists at the local, state, and national level.
Very clear that this organization
we have aggressively stood up to the forces of the far right.
I believe in the Bible too, Mr. Falwell.
While educating mainstream candidates on the values and principles that the American people share with us.
What do you find appealing about the Republican Party?
Through a national coordinated effort, through trainings, issue ads, and a sustained media campaign, we want to help unite mainstream conservative Americans behind a positive message. If far-right leaders go unchallenged, if mainstream Republican candidates pander to the religious right in the next election, we will again lose our chance to win the White House, likely lose our majority in Congress, and we may forever lose a Republican Party that can truly be called the Party of Lincoln.